Raw, it's me, Red Planet, coming to you once again with another video. No rights to the video or music, strictly for educational purposes only. Let's listen to Woodward TV speak about the planet. Let's get into it, Israel.
So today we are going to make some connections. And these are things that you very well may know about, but maybe you haven't heard of some of these connections that have been made. This is not obvious at first, but once you sit down and think about it for some time, things may begin to make sense. And this will make you go back and think about what was written in Genesis chapter 1 concerning the fourth day. Now keep in mind that God had already created the heaven and the earth before the fourth day, okay? And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So I'll try to make this presentation as simple as I can, because I can also make it quite complex, and we don't want that. In verse 16 it reads, "And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also." That word lights can be translated to the word luminaries. Now, what is a luminary? Well, a luminary can be, one, a celestial body that emits or reflects light, like the sun or moon. Two, a luminary can be...
So the light or the numerary can be the stars, the second moon, the first moon, the sun, the moon for night, to give the earth light, and the sun in the daytime. What they're trying to do is put their moon and sun out to control and alter the weather, to dictate when they want it to be hot and when they want it to be cold, when they want it to rain and when they want it to storm, so they can have control over what goes on in the heavens and on earth. This is what they want to do. So they create their own fake sun and their own fake moon, so they can dictate the days that we have hot weather and cold weather, the days that we have sun and we have light, the days that they have rain or no rain, the days we have floods and no floods. You get it, Israel? They want to control the weather, so they can keep it cold, if they had it their way, all year round, to be able to survive. This is what they want to do. So they're thinking in their minds and head, why not create a moon or sun or fake stars, so we can dictate when we want the moon or the sun or the stars to rise and go down. It's the Creator who allowed the sun to come up and rise in the morning from a portal, and the sun to set and go down through the portal, and then the moon same way. This is what they're trying to do.
an object that provides illumination. Or 3, a luminary can be a person or a being who is influential or an expert, serving as a source of inspiration or guidance. Now, when I say the word being, what I'm talking about here is an angel or a god, okay? So if we take the term luminary and associate that word with angels, metaphorically speaking, that works, right? Even in the book of Enoch, it is written how angels govern celestial bodies. Those signs in the heavens, those signs are messages, right? And what are angels? They are messengers. Also, for example, in Roman mythology, what did the Romans describe the planets as? They described the planets as gods, didn't they? Are you with me so far?
But the question is, which God? Their God? Because it's not the creator we serve. So it's got to be their God. So the planets, could it be they served as their God? You know, the celestial planets?
So in the book of Revelation, there are 3 sets of 7 divine judgments. 7. And how many planets are there besides Earth? 7. Even when excluding Uranus and Neptune, which were discovered in the 17 and 18.
So you got the 7 bowls, 7 trumpets, and the 7 bowls.
Hundreds. That would only leave 5 planets. You still have the sun and moon, which still makes 7. So who are the 7 angels of the 7 seals, trumpets, and vials? Do you see the connection now? Wait, let me explain.
Today I am giving you 3 reasons why Telemobile might be the perfect carrier for you and your next.
Okay, so let's talk about how the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn align with the 7 seals, 7 trumpets, and 7 vials or bowls in the book of Revelation. The connections are symbolic, based on astrological and esoteric traditions, with each planetary body associated with themes of judgment and divine intervention. Let's start with the seals. For the first seal, we have the sun, representing kingship, authority, victory, which aligns with the rider on the white horse who is crowned and goes out to conquer. The sun's association with rulership and dominance fits the image of the rider bringing conquest. For the second seal,
But you have to, excuse me, you have to keep in mind, Israel, this is what the fallen angels taught our people about the reading of the sun and its meaning, how to read it when it goes up and when it comes down, the moon as well, and the stars, the celestial planets. The fallen angels taught our people this. Might not be in the way that we read it today, but this is what they taught them. Keep in mind, the fallen angels were angels, so they knew this stuff. Taught it our people probably in a different way. This is how they tied it to Revelation with the seals, the trumpets, the bowls, and the vials to different readings of different planets. This is what the fallen angel taught our people Israel. This is why they know what they know today.
There is the planet Mars, the planet of war, aggression, conflict, which aligns with the Red Horse and its rider, who brings violence and bloodshed. This seal represents conflict and the chaos of battle, which is typical of Mars' destructive influence. The third seal would be related to Mercury, the planet that represents governing trade, commerce, communication, and that aligns to the black horse with the rider holding scales, which symbolize economic imbalance, scarcity, famine. Mercury's influence over commerce ties in with the message about the cost of goods and the scarcity of resources. Next, there is the fourth seal connected to Saturn, the planet associated with death, limitation, karma, and that aligns with the pale horse and its rider, death. Saturn's cold, restrictive nature and association with mortality match the themes of widespread death, plague, and destruction unleashed by this seal. There is the fifth seal, and Venus, representing love, beauty, justice, and this relates to the souls of the martyrs crying for justice and receiving white robes. Venus is also associated with divine grace and compassion, which can be aligned with the martyrs' call for righteous judgment and their reward in heaven. When the sixth seal is opened, there is a great earthquake. The sun turns black, the moon turns red, stars fall, mountains and islands move. The moon is, of course, traditionally associated with emotional cycles, changes, and hidden forces, and that aligns with the cosmic disturbances described in the sixth seal. The moon turning red like blood and the drastic changes in nature connect with this influence over change and transformation. Then there is the seventh seal. When that is opened, there is silence in heaven for half an hour, and then we have the seven trumpets. This can be connected to Jupiter, the planet of kingship, divine authority, which may align with divine events and judgment. Jupiter also can symbolize a pause before transformative events, matching the seventh seal's importance in setting the stage for the seven trumpets. Now, because Mars is the planet of war, aggression, and destruction, it can be aligned with the first trumpet, where there is hail and fire mixed with blood, burning a third of the earth, trees, and grass. When the second trumpet is blown, a great mountain burning with fire is cast into the sea, turning a third of it into blood. The burning mountain cast into the sea could symbolize a disruption of movement and the breakdown of order, and so this could be connected to Mercury. When the third trumpet sounds, a great star falls from heaven called wormwood, poisoning a third of the rivers and springs. But Venus is linked to fertility, water, and natural beauty. So, the poisoning of rivers and springs by the star wormwood represents a corruption of what is normally a symbol of fertility, water, into a source of death. When the fourth trumpet sounds, a third of the sun, moon, and stars goes dark, and this could be aligned with, of course, the sun. When the fifth trumpet sounds, the bottomless pit is opened, and locusts emerge to torment people. Saturn is associated with time, karma, restriction. This can symbolize the release of long pent-up suffering and judgment. And Saturn is typically connected to harsh karmic energies. When the sixth trumpet sounds, 4 angels bound at the Euphrates are released. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion and rulership, associated with authority and large-scale events. The release of angels to lead an army into war aligns with Jupiter's large massive force. The moon, governing cycles, transitions, the reflection of divine light, could be linked to the final proclamation of God's kingdom. The seventh trumpet symbolizes the ultimate transformation and transition from the earthly realm to the divine reign. It brings final judgment and cosmic events, lightning, voices, thunder, and earthquakes. Now, when we look at the vials, the first vial causes sores on people with the mark of the beast. And once again, the moon governs emotional states and the physical body. With the pouring out of the second vial, the sea becomes blood, and all creatures in it die. The poisoning of the sea could symbolize the breakdown of communication, trade routes,
This is what's going on right now, Israel. And right now, we're on a famine.
Connected to Mercury. When the third vial is poured, rivers and fountains become blood, and Venus is often associated with beauty, love, and fertility, which are connected to water as a life-giving force. The blood in rivers and fountains might represent the destruction of beauty and life itself. The fourth vial, scorching heat from the sun. The fifth vial, darkness over the beast kingdom. Mars, again, is traditionally associated with war, aggression, and destruction. Darkness descending upon the beast kingdom could represent chaos and destruction, all connected to Mars. When the sixth vial is poured out, there is the drying of the Euphrates, preparing the way for the kings of the east. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and kingship, associated with rulers and large-scale events. And finally, there is the seventh vial, followed by thunder, lightning, an earthquake, and great hail. Again, Saturn is the planet of karma, judgment, and restriction. The final vial brings ultimate destruction and judgment, which represents Saturn's influence over time, fate, and also the consequences of actions.
So in other words, what he's saying is all the celestial planets, he's tied them into Book of Revelation and what's taking place right now. Which each, he's saying trumpet blowing bowls and the seven seals. Tied it in with all the celestial planets and the moon and the sun, Israel.
Now, the connections between the planets, the sun and moon, with the three sets of final judgments is based in ancient astrology. But again,
now we probably would believe that the fallen angels taught our people this. I don't know if they taught them with Book of Revelations, but they definitely taught them with the celestial planets and how to read the celestial planets. They taught our people that. But he's tied it into the Book of Revelations. Woodward TV.
Again, in Genesis chapter 1, God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let the..."
So that means the sun, stars, and moons are the light to the heavens. To give us light, Israel. And to give us day above the firmament.
Them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Even though the Bible acknowledges that the stars, moon, and sun serve as signs in the heavens, It also warns against using astrology to seek guidance from the positions.
A lot of times people use astrology and the celestial planets for evil, as well as some people using it for good, especially when they're doing their videos.
And movements of celestial bodies for the purpose of divination or attempting to predict the future. It's based on the idea that relying on those practices is a form of idolatry, and God is not being trusted. The reason I'm showing you the connection is because in Revelation chapter 6, it reads, "And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth their untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll, when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places." And this happens because the angels who rule over or govern these celestial bodies have left their post in the prophecy described here. And once they leave their post, the planets will be allowed to do their own thing and move around in a chaotic fashion that is no longer stable. Now, Neptune and Uranus were not known or considered in ancient astrology or early Christian eschatological texts like the book of Revelation, as they were discovered later. But based on their modern astrological symbolism, we could still make possible connections between these planets and the apocalyptic judgments from Revelation. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that the planets' positions right now may not be their positions in the days of judgment. And these planets moving out of their positions,
I'm sure these planets during the time of our judgment, their judgment, and the judgment that we're in, we're going to be able to see these planets visibly, clearly. We're going to be able to see this, the Nibiru, planet Hell, the big celestial planet, the one that has its own heat source. We're going to be able to see that as well. Right now, we are all in judgment. But this is going to be seen, visible for everybody to see soon, Israel. Whether it's lined up with Revelation or not.
could directly have an effect on what happens here on Earth. Just something interesting to think about or ponder. It's well out of our control, so you don't have to dwell on it. I just find it interesting. Anyway, that's going to be all for now, and there is more to come. I do have a recommended video for the day. Watch that video. It will be linked on screen at the top right corner of this video and in the description box and pinned comment below. Please hit the thumbs up button if you like this presentation. Check out my other links in the description box below. You can also find me on Instagram at jwoodward if you're interested in sending me any clips, reels, or information. Everyone have a great day. And as always, friends, stay awake, stay aware, stay safe, and I'll talk to you all soon.
Much love, Israel.